What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining us once again for another night of hot topics and social commentary. So a couple of things first, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, press that big red button. Also be sure to leave us a comment, give us some feedback on how you think we're doing so far. Be sure to click that thumbs up button. We want to see 5 thumbs up on this particular video. And also be sure to click the notification bell so you are notified every time I post a new video. We are -1 tonight, but we still got Jennifer and Tyrone with us. What's going on, y'all?
Hello.
Yeah. Mike had a prior engagement, so unfortunately he won't be joining us tonight, but the show must go on. So first things first, we want to say happy Founders Day to the lovely ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Today is their Founders Day, and since this day is their Founders Day, we might as well just shout them out. So shout out to all the Deltas out there, ladies of class and the red and white, and yes, absolutely.
The crimson and cream.
Crimson. I had a feeling it wasn't red. Crimson and cream. Yeah.
Oh no.
Wait, is that crimson and cream for them? Oh, is that for the?
Because I know crimson is USC. Oh Lord. Anyways, Delta Sigma Theta. Delta Sigma Theta. Shout
to the
out
head, not to the heart, man.
Please, we just want to give respect and love.
Respect, y'all.
And love y'all.
So for those of you who have been living under a rock, the 3 men who were charged and convicted of Ahmaud Arbery's murder have all been sentenced. The son and the father, they have been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, meaning they will spend the rest of their lives in prison. The neighbor who shot the video, he was given a life sentence with the possibility of parole after 30 years. Now, personally, I watched the entire sentencing, which was, approximately like 2 hours long. But, I just wanted to see the full outcome. And I was very, very happy with the decision that the judge made. The judge was very cognitive, or conscious rather, of everything that was going on. He had a real grasp on what happened to this young man. And I really, really love the fact that, the defense tried to say that these men, they can't show remorse because they can't reach out to the families. For those of you who may not know, those who are defenses in, these types of cases, they're typically encouraged not to speak out about their case in any form whatsoever, even if it was an accident, even they are told not to say anything. But, the judge pointed out there are other things that you can put under the umbrella of remorse, your actions thereafter, how you conduct yourself and, what was happening in the midst of this and and the lead up to what actually happened. So I was very happy with the sentencing that all of those men had. They still have a federal trial that's coming up. They're facing hate crime charges, which will be interesting. Though we'll hear some details from the case that we did not hear in the in the criminal trial. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out in that. So, what are you guys' thoughts on it?
I am happy, that some justice was served, and it was very refreshing to hear this judge. He is not in Atlanta. They are on the outskirts. They in real Georgia out there. So it was just, I was unfortunately surprised that it felt like the man was going to be fair. The judge was going to be fair. So kudos to that. And like you said, Jonathan, it did sound like he had a full grasp. He even did a 1-minute moment of silence for Ahmaud Arbery. Like, it's not often that us as African Americans see respect given towards the slain. And I thank God for that. I relish in that moment and I appreciate that moment. Now that they've been charged, and they still have even more litigation to go through. I pray for them, pray they found their peace in Jesus' name. But the next thing I'm looking for is it's what's going to happen to the DA, district attorney.
Yes. Absolutely.
that held and withheld the information and basically kept him from getting arrested. And I do believe with all my heart, if it was not for that video coming out, s- and I believe, mm, I believe it was somebody in the ranks, because that video was in their ranks. They kept the video for themselves, and that lawyer that released that video, he did what he was supposed to. I believe King Jesus laid it on his heart, the immense guilt of not releasing that information or not getting them arrested. Immense guilt. And that's why that video was released. And of course, it was it was all downhill from there. You released the video, and now we got to get you because now you got our whole county looking crazy because we're not um, charging these men.
Right.
And then the FBI got to get involved to make sure that where's the corruption because these men they killed somebody. Why aren't they arrested?
Yeah, they were free for 2 months after this happened. 2 full months
Which makes
after this
everything
happened.
that much more worse. Tyrone.
Absolutely, because she made a decision to save her friend,
Hmm.
colleague, uh, even though he has retired. That's She chose the whole entire friendship over your legal profession,
Right.
your legal duty, the thing that you took an oath for, you threw out the window because it's my homie.
Mm.
Right.
And if she do that for him, I
I
can
can't
only
imagine
imagine what she's done for
in the
other people.
past for
Right.
other people.
And and the worst part is I'm sure she felt completely justified in doing exactly what she did. And that's the
Absolutely.
worst part.
Because she said it. She felt justified in doing it, allegedly. In another person's interview with her as they were investigating this whole entire story when they first heard about her and other dealings that she was doing.
Mm.
Yeah, she's about to catch what she's been evading for a long time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this is not her first rodeo with sweeping things under the rug or delaying things just so they can get their story right.
Mm.
Right. And so there was a question that was asked on CNN, and I'm going to pose this question to you guys. Do you think this will cause change in any way?
I believe it is a building block
Agreed.
in the whole structure of change. Because in everybody's head, we're paving new roads. I don't want it to just be a road because then just we can skip that road anytime. But when you build a whole structure, an infrastructure, and build it strong and tall, it becomes a monument and a beacon for what justice should be.
For me, I shake my head. I think it's just from a negative place of what we've
Yeah.
seen so much of.
Right.
And the fact in knowing that so many people have this racism and this way of thinking ingrained in them from birth, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of difficult to change a mind like that. I do believe it's possible, don't get me wrong, but it is difficult. And that's why sometimes, with looking at great things, great victories, you know, for us in court, it's also easy to look at all the times where things weren't justly done.
Right.
And there's way more times for that happening than justice being served. But you know, this is why I try my best to look at more positive things, and unfortunately, those positive things are seeing seeing police officers getting, their just due, seeing killers getting their just due on things like court cam and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, reading up on stories of horrible things that's happened to Black people and they receive justice. Though those are the things that I'm trying to, build my hopes on, you
And
know,
gravitates towards.
and of course on Jesus, so that I can
Absolutely.
can find a way to be more positive about it. So yeah,
Absolutely.
it's possible. I think if we can just find more ways to be possible, I mean positive about it, and try not to think of all the races that are being spawned today.
Agreed.
And
I would agree with that. All we can do is try our best to look on the bright side, but do not be blind to what's happening in front of you. Don't ignore what's happening in front of you. Stay cognizant of that, but still try to think on the bright side and hope for the best in all situations. The next topic is there are three suspects that have been taken into custody who were allegedly involved in the murder of young Dolph. Now, this did happen a while ago, and I don't know if you guys saw that surveillance camera, but the footage showed two men outside of that bakery that where Young Dolph was, where he was eventually murdered. And I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to catch these men because they were disguised and they had they had things covering their faces, but thankfully, three men have been taken into custody, and it looks like we might get some justice for this Memphis rapper. I'm happy to hear about that. You guys happy to hear about that?
Me too.
absolutely.
For some reason, I was thinking like, I don't know how they ever gonna find these people.
Right.
Um, Now,
I,
I will have to preference this conversation with, hey, I knew a young Dolph existed, but as far as hearing his lovely sounds, his music, his raps and rhymes, that has not been on my plate per se. But I recognize genuine people. I
Right.
recognize real people, and it's sad what has happened to him, especially with all the good that he's done. Now, I know that I don't know that man from a can of paint, um, but he had a lovely wife or girlfriend and two children, and I just think it really sucks. Her having to deal with not having the man that was in her life and the father of her children. That really sucks balls.
It
So
really does.
I hope that she finds peace in any of this. And I'm not sure. I'm thinking I was hearing that these people were a part of his camp, or
Yes, the most recent the man that was caught that posted on Instagram saying that he was turning himself in the next day, he's the one that they said was allegedly a part of Young Dolph's camp. And he's a rapper as well. Go
and
figure.
these are the times. I'm sorry. Take my hand. We're gonna go down conspiracy lane. But but these are the times where you start to wonder. So many rappers that, especially these days, are dying and being killed by their own, right?
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to figure out who's putting the hits out because for him to do it the way he did it, it's got to be a little bit more than a level of jealousy. Or maybe somebody had the right amount of money to bring
Agreed,
down this
because Young Dolph wasn't necessarily the biggest rapper, but he
man.
was well known. But for someone to kill him because of jealousy, I wouldn't see that either.
It just doesn't seem like it's enough, you know?
Right.
And the way that it happened, the at a
In
big
broad daylight, like
and in broad daylight, not only, are you killing this man, but you're doing it in the most stupid way ever in life. Like, did we even plan? Like, what's up? But just to not go any further into that lane, I just really feel like there's more to this that we don't know.
Absolutely. And more to this that we'll probably never find out. We'll probably never know unless it actually comes out in the criminal case. But
Absolutely.
you're right.
And then like even with the car that they did it in, you know, that
Mm.
wasn't like a car I would choose to do it, or maybe that's the only car that they had. Look, it just something's not right.
It wasn't inconspicuous at all. Wasn't it like a brand new car? Like it was,
Yes.
Yeah, it was. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
And they just dumped it somewhere around the house, somebody's house.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. But hopefully those men will be brought to justice. Tyrone, did you have any thoughts on that case?
Oh, I'm glad they got caught. A lot of times people wonder, oh man, I wonder how they got caught. You you out here bragging. This is your name and claim to fame. I'm the one that took out Young Dolph.
But it's like he was loved in his community. How how is that a bragging right? You know what I'm saying?
You took somebody's father away and
Right.
you bragging on that like it's a a badge of honor. Like,
Like now you about to be in jail for life. Like,
but you don't care because you living this fast life. You know, you like, I got my own justice
child,
because he went and put my album out and he told me to wait, or he told me I was gonna get this bag at this certain date and I ain't get it. He only gave me part of it, so I'm gonna take him out. Like, yo, what
And
a
it's things
idiot move to do.
And it's things like that that make me think, we as Black people, we must renew our minds. We have
amen.
to renew our minds because that type of thinking makes no sense whatsoever. And it's not logical. And you're making rash decisions based on those rash thoughts. And yeah, it's crazy. But moving on to our next topic. So there was a huge fire in the Bronx at an apartment building.
Mm,
I'm not sure what the casualties were. I'm not exactly sure what all of that is, but thankfully, Fat Joe and Peter Guns are lending a helping hand to those people, and so we just wanted to say congratulations to big ups to Fat Joe and Peter Guns for reaching out to those people who are in need and using their power, their ability, and their influence to help others. And I think that's just a great thing for two Black rappers, two Black men to help out people that are actually in their community. Because of course, as you all know, they're both from New York, so that's not a surprise there. But yes,
of
actually,
course.
big ups to Peter Guns and Fat Joe.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's really a travesty what happened there.
Yeah,
So many
so
people
many
passed
lost.
away in that moment, in that time. We pray, we give condolences to all other people that were lost in that fire, and I pray God's peace on all of them, and I pray that all the survivors of that fire make it, find their way and continue to make it on because it's a tragic tragedy. I saw one man talking about how he lost his mother, his sister, I believe, in the fire, and so many people have lost family. So God bless them.
Absolutely. Um, I was saddened to see it because being from Washington D.C. and seeing places like that in D.C. and going to New York and seeing places like that
Hmm.
and hearing stories of people talk about how one small fire can wipe out half a building, if not the entire building, in hours.
You know what started the fire, Jonathan?
no, I don't.
A space heater.
Happens all the time. Happens all of the time.
Go on ahead. I'm sorry. I just had to say that.
It's okay. We want to give a congratulations to the beautiful actress Danielle Brooks. She tied the knot recently. Her dress was beautiful. It had a nude illusion at the top with like these things coming up. It was just beautiful. I absolutely loved it. She's an extremely talented actress, Tony nominated actress, singer. She's just amazing all the way around. So
Yeah, from
congratulations
Orange Is
to
the New Black, right?
Yes, from Orange is the New Black. Her character's name was Tasty. She was definitely one of my favorite characters besides Poussey. Poussey was probably my favorite, but
Yes,
but
yes.
yes, congratulations to Danielle Brooks. There
Hey.
is a new face possibly coming to the quarter because I don't know how true this is, but the Shade Room did post that
True.
Maya Angelou is possibly going to be on the quarter. Now we don't know how how that's going to come about with Harriet Tubman supposedly to being on the $20 bill. I'm not sure if that is still in progress. And so, which makes me think, is this really going to happen? Do you guys think this is really going to happen? Because I'm not sure.
Yeah, I understand where your what's that word what's that word when you're not sure something's gonna happen?
Uh, uh,
Anywho, I'm
hesitancy is the best thing about this.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I understand why you're hesitant to believe that because you know it's just that the president, like the whole thing about Harriet Tubman being on the 20 that was started by President Barack Obama.
okay,
And of course, that 45 was not going to let that happen.
correct.
So um, I feel like all we can do is just continue to bring it up. And I was going to say, like, they already have the design and everything for the quarter, so I'm
Yeah,
thinking, but they already had the design for Harriet Tubman too. So I see what you're
probably.
saying, but I kind of believe that they're going to go more forward on Maya Angelou on a quarter versus Harriet Tubman on a 20 because
Agreed.
I'm gonna say it. You see 20s a lot more than you see quarters.
Very true.
So I believe that's one of those things. You know what I'm saying,
And
Jonathan?
especially with us having somewhat of like a coin shortage, going to stores, they have these signs up that are saying, "Please have your exact change because we ain't got them coins, girl."
You ain't got it. Yeah, yeah. I believe it's more possible that Maya Angelou will be on the quarter before Harriet Tubman gets on the 20.
Hmm. I agree. Absolutely.
Woo!
Because look at the cost factor to them as
Mm,
well. And to put a certain amount of bills into circulation in the middle of the pandemic um, is a bit more stressful to do rather than, like you said, with the quarter. Quarters can be distributed a lot faster in rolls
yeah.
than a whole stack of $20 bills with Harriet Tubman on it. And I think looking on the brighter side of things, it might be uh, a sweet reward for us to have to wait for that day that Harriet Tubman gets her just due on that $20 bill.
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
looking at it, looking at the quarter, that is a deposit on our just due as a people in America.
For sure.
Agreed. And it's not to say that I don't think it will ever happen. I do believe that it will eventually happen. It's just, how soon will we be seeing these things
Mhm.
happening? So I do believe that they will happen because they have been officially announced. It's just a matter of, how long will it take for things to get in motion because there's so many other things that are going on in America right now. I'm not sure if this is high on their to-do list. So our last hot topic that we want to just touch on really briefly is the fact that British Vogue has put a number of African models on their cover. It seems to be like 8 to 10 girls that are on their cover. They are all dark skinned Black African women on the cover of
Ooh.
British Vogue. I think this is amazing because I mean, they're all Black. Like they are dark skinned women. And, typically you do not see a dark skinned woman on the cover of a magazine, a fashion magazine, as far as that's concerned. And so to see these beautiful African women, because they're not from America, African women, straight from the motherland, on the cover of British Vogue, I think is an amazing thing. I'd like to know who was the one that greenlit this, to congratulate them on their openness, and willingness to think outside of the box for this. And so, yeah, yeah. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I think it's absolutely amazing. I only hope that they did bring in African or African American. Wait, that's British Vogue. So African photographers to take these pictures, because a lot of times, they only have the same few Caucasian photographers taking the pictures of these women and men for magazines. So I'm hoping that they did do their homework and actually find somebody of these women's hue to take the photos. But either way, it feels great to see that they are being acknowledged. And um, I don't want to treat them like they are some like pieces of art, but I can stare at at their faces all day long because it's just so beautiful, and it's not something that we see often in this country or where I'm at. How about I be more specific? Where I'm at.
Okay, right.
So, so I just think it's beautiful, man.
Absolutely. I think this is a great opportunity for the fashion industry to put a spotlight and honor a people that have been overlooked and ignored for practically a century when it
Well,
comes to
I can't
fashion.
say totally overlooked because there have been a lot of supermodels
Yeah,
that
there have been what you would call those rare exceptions
I hear you.
to the norm.
Yeah. And then they get
Um,
all the bookings
right.
and they're not trying to get anybody else.
Right.
And I hate the fact that, when it comes to supermodels, there is this kind of like, uh, go with me here, how the rap industry only glorifies that one female rapper at a time.
Right.
Yeah, I
The
understand.
fashion
Yeah.
industry only glorifies that one African American face at a
Right.
time. Hopefully this will be a new trend moving forward, that there's more faces added to this pool of the fashion industry. Like, not only just on the skin color, can we get all the different flavors of sizes as well?
Hmm.
Because that's something else that the industry has kind of messed over the years. I know they do it for the look of the finances and all the money that comes with it, because they know what sells.
Hmm.
Right.
But there's a little more out there than what you're used to. Kind of step out that box is what I'm
Yes.
looking forward to.
I know it's Regina. She says, I was looking for your show on Facebook, but happy I found your YouTube page. Regina, I told you it's YouTube.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina.
Thank
I
you for coming.
appreciate your support. I really, really do. Jennifer, did you come up with a social commentary topic? Because I think I kind of have one.
Ooh, shoot. And I'll do my best to quit punching the microphone. Go ahead.
Okay, because there is a new documentary that is going to be released, on A&E, concerning the life and times of Miss Janet Jackson.
Yes.
So, with her being probably my favorite female performer of all time, I wanted to possibly let you guys know, maybe all three of our favorite top three Janet songs and why. What do you guys think about that?
I think that'll be
Oh,
awesome. I'm so happy that Mike is not here today. I think he would
because I
refuse
know
to
he
do it.
Right.
ready to look at you like of all time. Really?
That is very true. That is very true.
I
But
miss you, Salute.
I'll go ahead and go first because I'm really excited about this. So, number three is actually a newer one because I actually really didn't pay much attention to this song prior to maybe the last couple of months. But my number three favorite Janet song is Miss You Much from her Rhythm Nation album. I love this song because it's so jovial and it's so like upbeat and it's so like
Cute.
it's so happy. And if you've ever seen that video, Janet and them dancers
Ooh
are
wee.
dead sing like
Whole time.
choreography
Mhm.
Don't stop.
down
Mhm.
pat. I think it's such a cute song. I think it's just really, really, it's really just feminine, and I miss you much. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel, and I really, really, really love that song. And the funny thing is, I really don't remember seeing her perform it live that much. But I absolutely love "Miss You Much." That is that is a great song to me, and it's really upbeat, and I love an up tempo jam. Number two would have to be "If." The reason why is because growing up, this was probably my second, always my second favorite Janet song to listen to. And the thing is, sometimes I wish that the tempo was up a little bit because I really like fast songs, but it's actually the perfect tempo. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost a little bit slower than you would expect it to be, but it's still a great song. And of course, as usual, the choreography in that video was amazing. And even though I honestly don't know exactly what she's saying during those verses because she is talking way too fast. I only know one person who knows those words, and that is Kevin Simmons, the host of the Scorpion Show, of number one Janet fan. He's the only one that I know that knows exactly what she's saying during those verses because unless you're looking at the lyrics, child, I don't know how you know what it is that she's saying, but
Okay.
that's when Janet really stepped into her sexier side. That's during the Janet album, her fifth album. You know, she kind of gave us a little bit of a glimpse of it with her Love Will Never Do Without You video. But then when Janet hit, it was smack dab. We got a brand new Janet. She's showing off her tummy. She's giving us a little bit of, décolletage. You know what I'm saying? You know, she's giving us a little bit more. And
A little
so
booby.
okay, and so that "If" song, it was just telling him, "If I was your girl, all of the things I'd do to you." Okay? So
Mhm.
that's why I love "If." My number one favorite Janet Jackson song of all time is "I Get Lonely," but it's actually the remix of "I Get Lonely" featuring Blackstreet. The reason why I say that is because I feel as though Chauncey was the perfect voice for that second verse. The reason why I say this is because I look at his other group members. Teddy, he would have
Go in
been
depth,
okay.
Jonathan. You better go in.
Teddy would have been, he would have been all right,
All
on
right.
the verse. It would have sounded decent. The big dude, the chalk dude, I don't remember what his name was. But
From
he
me.
used to do all the runs, run it up and down, do it the Beyonce. And I'm like, he would do way too much on that verse. But Chauncey, like his voice is so pure and so beautiful. And he doesn't do too much. He doesn't do too little. He does just enough. And I kind of wish that he had more solos with Blackstreet, but I don't know why that wasn't. But I Get Lonely is a song that I connected to while I was in middle school because at that time, that's how I felt. I felt lonely. I felt like I was alone. I did not know that really gay people existed outside of me per se, because I didn't have that vision outside of my house or my school. So I felt lonely. And so once I heard that song from Janet, I Get Lonely, like I'm with you. We right here, girl. And to hear that remix and the video and the red hair, and I'm sure isn't that why you ended up getting red hair, Jennifer? Because of Janet?
I don't think so. I doubt
Okay.
it.
Okay, but anyways, Janet was the only black woman out here that I had seen with
Well, I
red
can
hair.
say that it's not. It helped. You know what I'm saying? Being able to see other
Okay.
women with red hair. Yeah, I thought that was a safe way to go, and it looked good.
Yes, it definitely did look good.
Thank
But yeah, so I Get Lonely is probably my favorite song of all time, period. But as far as Janet is concerned, that remix, oh, that thing hits right. What about y'all?
Okay, I'm weird. So, this is in no particular order because I don't stand like you. Not saying that I'm not a fan. I just not out there. Anywho, one of my favorite songs would have to be "Rock with You" from one of her latter albums. I don't know which one is that. Discipline.
Discipline,
Discipline.
yes.
Yes, I really how I just like, the the track. It's so I don't even know how do you know the song I'm talking about, Jonathan?
Yes, strobe lights make everything
And it just makes me wanna do like this.
sexier. Yeah, you would love to hear that in the club. Like you would just be in
Like,
the moment. Like there's a groove to it. It's a moment.
yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I would listen to that song over and over again. I loved that song. And I like We Go Deep.
Yes,
Mm.
I do love that song.
That's a lovely, fun song that I really enjoy from her. And uh Velvet Rope. I love that song.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And a lot of marching bands have played that, and it comes
Oh,
across
really?
so yes.
Mm-hmm.
Before you go to bed tonight,
I had
make
to sing it once.
sure you see some because when them tubas
Yes.
it's
It
Because the
is,
music to that song is amazing.
it
and
is, and that's the kind of stuff I love to get myself wrapped up in. And yes, so that's those are threes that pop up off at the top of my head.
oh boy. So Velvet Rope is one of my favorites. After hearing the North Carolina A&T State University Blue and Gold Marching Machines performance of it, I had to go back and listen to the original song, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
Janet,
yes.
wait,
What happened?
why?
Where did this come
Where
from?
did this come from?
I didn't know this was wait, was it an
How did this
album
come
How
cover?
did
about?
this come about? Why was this not on the radio when I was growing up?
That's a good question. I think it was too deep because that
Yeah.
actually is my favorite era of her as
Yeah,
well.
that's my
Agreed.
favorite area too.
Red hair Janet.
I enjoy that one. I enjoy That's the Way Love Goes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Um, it just creates a mood
It is
that
it's a
kind of
vibe.
puts you in a trance and chill and relax. And when you start listening to the words, you get in that space of like, oh,
right.
this makes me
Yeah.
feel something. And I love Pleasure Principles.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Like that
Especially that
has
video. It's
that
everything.
right there was everything. And I was just like, yo, lady, I don't know. I can't just sit down and just when that song comes on, that makes you want to get
That
up and
song
do
is fire.
something.
Regina, she said her favorite songs, she like Control, That's the Way Love Goes, and Rhythm Nation. That is such an
Rhythm
anthem.
Nation
Rhythm
is
It
Nation is such
is.
an anthem.
oh my gosh. And I really truly believe in Rhythm Nation that she took what Mike was doing
Mm-hmm.
and made it her own.
Absolutely.
And when Mike heard it, hey girl, what you got going on over there?
He said it just like that, huh?
Yeah. I heard your song on the radio. I think we need to do a song together.
The scream count.
And Scream
Yes, it
came
does.
from that.
Let me tell you something. That's scream.
Scream is
Okay. Scream touches me so because I remember when that video debuted on MTV and
Yes.
Wow.
MTV, VH1, and BET at the same time.
Yes. Like it was a
It was an event.
nationwide
It was an event,
event.
honey.
Yes.
They are
Mike
not
got a
doing like that anymore.
Mike got a video coming out, and he got his sister in it this time.
We got a new song. It's called Scream.
It's called Scream.
And
What?
of course, the choreography was everything, and
On
just
point.
the content of the song was everything. Yeah, I loved that. Loved it that.
My favorite line from that song was when Janet says, "You're selling out souls, but I care about mine."
And
I
she said
mean
she
that.
had this.
Yeah, yeah. She's like I was
That
like
song
that.
was like really
It
bold and edgy at that time. Like nothing on the radio was like it.
And Regina
right.
likes nasty.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
Nasty is a
Nasty
great
is good
song.
too. That has a groove to it, like
But then and I see when I go to nasty, I
get you.
think about what have you done for me lately.
Right,
That
go
too.
right
It's
back to the
almost like
Control album.
Mm,
Oh,
good
good.
times.
So what are you guys expecting to see out of this new documentary? Because Janet is obviously a very private person. Do you really think we're going to learn anything that we did not know? Because I'm thinking there might be some surprises, behind door number one.
I
mm,
do believe that because just looking at the seriousness in her face, she says the story needs to be told. And I feel like, just to keep it real, as long as she got her good looks right now and stuff like that, and I have the energy and I have the nanny. So I'm just gonna let these people follow me for a little bit, and I want to tell the stories and have one her favorite brothers that's still on this earth, Randy, to chill with her and just really talk about everything. And I believe this is such a great way to do it, not just in the book, but to follow you and to see you saying these things with your own mouth. I believe we will find out some new things about Janet. I know everybody's trying to say she's going to talk about that the child that she had. We don't even know if that's real. You know what I'm saying? And for a DeBarge to continuously talk about that all the time, for all we know, he's continuously, keeping up a lie to make it seem like he had a baby with her. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Sounds like desperation to me.
That's what I'm saying, and it's like, if you do have that child, where the child at?
Are you taking care of her? Have you seen
Because
her?
if they relocated that child to go somewhere else or, be somewhere else, wouldn't you know as the father, you have parental rights. You can go to, court and say, "Why can't I see my child?" Because you
Exactly.
are the father. So, I don't know if something can go all this long and we still not see anything real. We don't see nothing real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm looking forward to the stories of her career journey,
Mhm.
dancing that line between music and film
Oh,
over the
yeah.
years. Getting to find out what was her thoughts and feelings as she was growing up as one of those quote unquote childhood TV stars
Mhm.
and transitioning into what she naturally
Or what she
was
wanted to
born to
be.
do was
Yeah.
music,
Right.
you know, and just like going through the journey of like looking at her brothers do this and the third and finding her own lane.
Yeah, because she did
Is
mention in one of those things, like, she didn't know who she was and all that, you
Mhm.
know?
That's
right. And that's what I want to hear too. I want to hear, what led her into going into the Control album and, what was she feeling when she was going through that writing process and then getting into Rhythm Nation and how did she come up with that concept
Ooh,
of
and
social
Black Cat.
justice? Yeah, right.
yeah,
And Black,
Black that
I
is a
love that should have been in my top three, Black Cat. That should have been in my top three, Black Cat, because I really love that song. She went full rock and roll on that, and I
right.
absolutely love that.
And
And
didn't she get a Grammy in it?
Mhm.
I believe
Her
so,
rock.
yes.
Mhm.
Right, and
She
Michael did
wrote
the
it.
same thing too. He did Dirty Diana, another rock song. So anyway, and I really want to hear what brought about the depression for her Velvet Rope album, because I think it is well known that she was truly depressed around that time. And at that
Right.
same
Mhm.
time, she was actually in a 10-year marriage
Yep.
with a close partner of hers, who was
Mhm.
very involved in her career. I don't think he was her manager or anything of that nature, but he had his hand in a lot of the things that she was doing. And I'd like to see if she would open up about that. I'm thinking she may not, because she kept it so secret, but I'd love to hear about it. And I'm sure she will touch slightly on the Super Bowl incident. I don't think she will harp on it, because I don't think she's that type of person to do that. I think she will mention it, maybe in passing. I'm not sure, because it was a real downfall of her career. She was blacklisted. She was blackballed. Radios were not playing her songs. MTV was not playing her videos. So a lot of that, there was a lot of backlash that happened because of that Super Bowl. And how did she get into the space to where she had this new album that she most recently put out in, I think it was 2017 or 18, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, I would love to see all of that. I'm so excited to see it. And the guest stars that she has in it, two that come to my mind were Whoopi Goldberg and Mariah Carey. I do know that
I
her
love
and
her.
Mariah are very good friends.
Mhm.
And I would love to see a little bit more of that relationship as well.
What Regina said was, "We may not see much because she is so private, but we will see a glimpse, a small amount, like a micro portion, possibly. I would hope to see more, but really, I don't expect it." And I think that's what we should go into it with. But I don't think. Okay, this is my thought process. I don't think she would do so much just to give us nothing.
Mm.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, my hopes aren't extremely high. Like, I'm going to find out this and that about her. You know what I'm saying? But I am sure that there will be little nuggets of information that we did not know, that we will find anew with this new two-part series. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Lord
Yeah,
have mercy.
all I can do is laugh at I'm already laughing at the, response that Mike will have when we tell him that we talked about Janet for
You're like,
no,
"Oh,
he wouldn't be, "Oh, no," he'd be like, "Janet?
no."
Mm,
And,
mm,
say,
mm, mm.
and then he'll say, "Oh, so we talking about Beyonce this week, right?"
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a no.
As a Beyonce
Stan."
stan.
But, one thing I do like about Beyonce and Janet, you can truly see who they are through their music.
Mhm.
Though they might not be all out there with everything that's going on with them, they do use their life, uh, they use their music to basically share about their life. Like, I'm really hoping ain't nobody put hands on her because I think about, that song, What About That?
Right, because that
Yeah.
seems like it came out from a place of personal experience. You know what
That's
I'm
that's
saying?
that's what I'm concerned about. Like, hopefully it was a domestic violence PSA, but I'm really thinking that, that might have been something that really happened.
It might have been, because a person like Janet would do something like to make a song, just to reach out to
Mhm.
those who have been in that type of situation before. Whew, Lord have mercy. But we want to thank you guys so much for joining us for another evening of Hot Topics and Social Commentary. Again, we want you guys to subscribe to my channel. Be sure to leave us a comment and click the thumbs up button, and also press that notification bell. We will be back here next Thursday, same time, same place, same beautiful faces. Go ahead and give out your social medias, Jennifer and Tyrone.
All right. Our social medias are going to everybody but mine.
Mr. TD McCollum, Facebook, Instagram. Follow me. I'm hilarious.
My name is J Star Bright. You can use this to find me on Instagram. Shoot, even TikTok. I don't make a whole lot, but I'm on there. And if you want to find me on Facebook, which I am a little bit more on there, I am very supportive there. It's Jennifer Star McCullum.
And feel free to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is jojo_3020. And my Facebook is Jonathan Lee. Just Jonathan Lee, no William in the front of it. Once again, we want to thank you guys for joining us. And be sure to hit me up on my email if you have any questions or if you just want to reach out to me in general. Email williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. Until next time, you guys, we hope you have a blessed rest of your week and we will see you next week. Bye, y'all.
And subscribe to this channel for more
subscribe.
videos. Subscribe today.
Oh, Regina says she's pressing the notification bell now. Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks.
Thank
Yay.
you.
Goodbye.
Okay, I'm trying to end it.